Hello, good morning. Thanks for having me here today.
Yeah, good morning, Miss Sibyl. Do we pronounce it correct? Sibyl or Sibyl?
Actually, whichever is okay. Civil or civil.
So I'd call it Sibyl, so we'd be civil with each other. Anyways.
Nice name.
Nice name. Yeah.
Thank you. That's my real name.
Can you walk us through this? What is a recruiting process outsourcing? Why do RPO jobs make more than BPO jobs? Yeah, they make more money.
Yes, absolutely. That's right. So, I think we're all familiar with the typical call center BPO job, which is mostly focused on IT support or customer service. So that's a component of the business that is outsourced. Now, we've got companies like us who are recruiting process outsourcing companies na iba naman yung function na in-outsource noon. So, ano yung function na yon? It's typically sourcing candidates, interviewing, screening candidates. So, parang BPO siya, pero different yung inaano nila, different yung function. And I think, pag tinatanong why do RPO companies or why do RPO professionals make more than BPO, it's actually because RPO roles have commissions. So, alam mo, when you're talking to a headhunter, whether that's here in the Philippines or in the US, for every single time you're placing a candidate, pag na-hire yung isang tao na pinipresent mo sa company, you get a placement fee. So, it's the same thing for us. Whenever we place a candidate in a hospital in America or in a tech company, our recruiters make a commission here.
Okay, so that's another source of income for
Yeah,
our
interesting.
for Filipinos. Miss Sibyl, si Chinky po ito.
Thank you.
na ano ako sa ganda ni Miss Sibyl, so pretty. Anyway,
You are pretty.
ano bang tawag doon?
Na-over ka.
odd.
No.
Yeah, I'm odd. Anyway, dito, I'm sure you know that recruitment in the Philippines is regulated by POEA. How do you work with POEA?
So, because our work is all remote, we're not actually under the POEA because we're an outsourcing company. So, I think regulated yung deployment if you
Yeah, the
deploy
deployment.
internationally. So, our people are all based in the Philippines. So, it's really like the call center setup where you're in the Philippines and you're talking to somebody in America. So, wala kaming regulation under the POEA
so, yes.
as an outsourcing company.
So now I understand. Kasi I thought that you talk to the prospective employers and then you also recruit nurses online. And my question earlier was about processing them and deploying them to, like, for example, the US, part of UK. So, so we understand.
Yeah, it is actually part of our plans in the future. God willing, we've been working with large hospital facilities in America, and we've been such a great support for them. And we do have a lot of companies who are looking to invest into deploying nurses. I know that's really an interest to our clients.
So, Miss Sibyl, what is team recruit and what are you doing to make a difference in the RPO industry?
So, I'd say Team Recruit, parang new wave siya of an RPO type of company here in the Philippines. And I think what really makes us stand out and what really makes us have a difference in the RPO industry is, number one, we're one of the most rewarding companies to work for. If you look at Team Recruit on LinkedIn, on Facebook, you'll see so many people say, nakabili na ako ng bahay dahil sa job ko dito. Nakabili ako ng kotse, apply and showcase. I've completely changed my life because usually when somebody joins us, they come from the BPO setting, and they earn a certain amount of salary, and nagugulat sila pag join nila sa company namin. Mga commission namin dito, the minimum I think is 10,000, and the maximum that we give for one placement is 200,000 pesos.
Wow!
So madami kaming ganyan ng mga stories na nafe-feel talaga ng mga tao na sobrang rewarding to work with us. Nasha-shock sila actually. Now, I came from working at a call center making 20,000 pesos. Tapos all of a sudden, in 1 month, I made 50, 100 to 200,000 in commission. Can you imagine kung ano yung difference nun?
Yeah, what an opportunity for all those who really need a job or need to, yung magpalit sila.
Yeah, we should shift career.
Yung talagang shifting. Now, Miss Sibyl, how can a BPO professional transition into RPO? Kasi I'm sure narinig ka nila. Maraming excited
May
ngayon.
inggit,
Yung opportunities, di ba? So,
Yes,
how can
yes,
they
absolutely.
possibly
So,
transition?
the good thing about RPO is the natural progression sa BPO. You know why? You have, when you're in a BPO role, you're either doing tech support, you're doing, sometimes yung outbound sales. Yun yung parati natin na naririnig sa mga BPO call center type of roles. RPO is a natural progression to that. Meaning, kung anong mga skills na ginagamit mo in business process outsourcing, you can use and transition into RPO. Kasi technically, isipin mo, an RPO job requires you to reach out to a candidate, interview them, engage them on the phone. So, transferable yung skills talaga in an RPO. And the transition is actually quite easy because there are so many companies like us who really invest in transitioning people. We teach you the skills needed to thrive in an RPO role.
Oh. May I add lang? Isa pa, Miss Sibyl, excite ako kasi today, now is October, may mga October graduates, and then soon, meron tayong graduation again next year, sometime May or June. Those people who just joined the workforce, Miss Sibyl, are they welcome to join you, or do you need experience? What are the qualifications if there are a lot of people, lalo na itong mga bagong graduates, who want to join your team?
So usually we require at least a year experience in RPO recruiting. We have accepted candidates na may experience na sa local recruiting. So pag nagre-recruit na sila in the Philippines and they work maybe as an HR coordinator, that's already a good stepping stone to join a company like us. But if you're asking me, how does a fresh graduate enter into the RPO world? I think a good way talaga is to get that BPO job. Specifically, if you go into sales, like outbound sales in a BPO role, trains you for that volume of phone calls. Kasi yun talaga yung recruiting. If you join RPO, you're gonna be calling a lot of applicants and candidates. So kailangan ma-build mo na yung confidence na yun when talking to them.
So can your RPO agents work from home, and how do you look for qualified candidates?
Or how can they apply?
How can they apply?
Yes, absolutely. So I think that's been one of our strengths talaga, is the ability to work from home. And I'll tell you this, most of the reason why we get a lot of applicants is because a lot of companies are already requiring people to work on site. And kami, we are 100% work from home. We've got a lot of fun activities which you see on screen. Nag-i-invite kami ng mga staff namin to do co-working with us. But as a company, we have made a commitment to our people that we are forever work from home. And that's been the main reason why we get so many applicants. So yun naging marketing namin. And then how do we find qualified applicants? As a recruiting firm, we already have access to the world's best sourcing platforms. So whether that's social media, whether that's mga job boards like Indeed, Seek.com, we have enterprise access to platforms like that. So looking for qualified candidates is really easy.
How do you look for qualified candidates naman for deployment? Say, your RPO agents looking for candidates for recruitment, deployment for, say, a job in the US or in the UK or whatever.
Yeah, so we don't do international deployment. It's in our plans at the moment. What we are doing though is we're training people here. We're creating these outsourcing jobs so that in the event that it becomes an area of interest to us and we pursue it, we already have the pipeline of people who can be deployed. But at the moment, we're not doing international deployment yet.
So what can the government do to invite more RPO companies in the Philippines?
Yes, wow, I absolutely love this question because I think we don't put enough emphasis on RPO here in the Philippines. Madami na actually RPO companies dito, but the one thing that we could use the support on is number one, awareness. There's more companies than just BPO. As a matter of fact, there's RPO, which is recruiting process outsourcing. There's also clinical process outsourcing, which is an area that we hope to build on. Ano naman tong clinical process outsourcing? It's basically taking a nurse or a healthcare professional and letting them work locally in the Philippines with a US employer. So meaning they're taking phone calls, they're doing remote patient monitoring, and they're in the Philippines. So more awareness sana sa other industries apart from call center and BPO. And I think also the second thing that I'd really like to see with the government is more training and development. As you mentioned earlier, we have this, fresh graduates coming out and graduating na. Sana we have programs for them so they can transition better to industries like ours. Kasi I know there's a lot of support talaga on the BPO side. I know there's training about tech support, there's training about outbound sales, but there's not a lot of training out there supported by the government for recruiting process outsourcing.
Oh, yeah, that's a good call. A good call to the government and all other agencies.
Yeah, so Ms. Ibo, we'd like to give you the floor to invite graduates or
Not
not graduates pala, sorry. Prospective candidates to join the RPO industry.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. So I'm inviting anybody who has a year of recruiting experience. Please look at our opportunities. It's on teamrecruit.breezy.hr. But if you are a graduate and you're looking to really level up in your career, or maybe you're working in the call center industry and you're looking for that healthy level of change, please look into RPO because I can assure you your income will really exponentially grow.
Okay, thank you very much, Miss Sybil of Team Recruit. Thank you very much for the time
Thank
that you
you so
spent.
much for gracing our show, Miss Sybil. Have a nice day.
Thank you.